for change that benefits them in the name of competition and in the name of providing services is just plain wrong. And it's difficult getting that point across as much as we try. And so it's an issue that I would actually implore all of you to be well aware of, because it's a very important issue. And as these two bills move forward in the name of telecom reform, it will have a detrimental impact on things like Scottsburg, like San Francisco, like a number of cities. Okay. Oops. There we go. I'm going to run through some slides very quickly. First of all, this issue of politics. When Mayor Newsom came into the city and county of San Francisco, he came in with a new energy, not unlike many politicians, but he came in with some new ideas. And one of the ideas he came in with was this concept that we need to rethink how government agencies provide their services, and we need to figure out a way to make them available out in the community, not necessarily have everybody come to City Hall. That evolved into something called TechConnect. And it's really about taking those services out to the people in need and using technology and doing a partnership in order to make that happen. Initial projects, many of you may have heard about Homeless Connect. It's a nationwide standard for cities. In fact, the federal government has appropriated many of the methodologies and concepts of Homeless Connect and trying to deal with homelessness on a national level. The last one on the chart there is TechConnect, and that's really what I want to talk about today. Before I get to TechConnect, even in a city like San Francisco, there is the digital divide. These are some statistics that we've got, and we're in the process of moving forward and getting even more detailed information on how the digital divide exists in San Francisco. But we know that it is income-based, it is race-based, and it is sex-based. And it all has an incredible impact on the ability of the city and county of San Francisco to compete in a worldwide economy and compete with other states, with other cities. So what is TechConnect? It's a sustainable program, and I can't emphasize that enough. A sustainable program to ensure that all San Franciscans have access to the benefits of technology. Whether that be to get information about jobs, healthcare, where I get a babysitter when I'm going on a job interview, to this blogging and communicating and creating communities, if not neighborhoods. So we're really trying to figure out a way to enable these programs to support those. And we also know that access to the internet is just one piece. Access is certainly important to the internet and finding what is available on the internet, but also, as we've talked about before, if you don't have a piece of hardware, if you don't have a cell phone, if you don't have a laptop, if you don't have a computer, access to the internet doesn't do you much good. And if you're dealing with those people who don't necessarily have a lot of experience surfing the net or going out and getting information, focused content, or a portal, if you will, to really get access to that content becomes very important. And last but not least, and something that we oftentimes forget about, is the training and support. Again, many of these people, many of these communities don't have any training in technology, nor do they know how to support technology once they get it, whether it be something as simple as plugging in a cable, or what to do when your internet goes down, and who do you call, and what do you do. So there are 4 pieces to bridging the digital divide or digital inclusion in San Francisco, and that's what I call the framework. And our program design is community input, research and analysis, and pilot projects. Whoa. Okay, the search. Citywide, wireless broadband, universal, as close to universal as we can get. We started off with affordable and moved into the free zone. Fixed, nomadic, and portable, Wi-Fi, open access, many of the things that you've already heard about. The process. We are a city, therefore we must go through a competitive process. We're a little bit different. We started off with a request for information and comment, in which we went out and asked for people to tell us what they thought about the project, but also asked solution providers to give us some idea whether free was indeed possible, and we heard back that it was. Much of the information from that request for information and comment was built into our request for proposal. included 60 criteria. We got 6 responses back. And the highest ranking proposal was Earthlink with partners Google, Trumpos, and Motorola. The highlights of that proposal, and I really do mean highlights, 2 tiers of service, free at 300 kilobyte, around $20 for 1 meg, mesh technology, open network, and a commitment to digital inclusion. Next steps, vendor negotiation. The proposal that was submitted and was ranked highest of the 6 is our starting point. We will, of course, go through our normal city policies and procedures, which includes review and approval by the board. And also, City and County of San Francisco is somewhat unique in that we have commissions that we also have to get some parts of this approved by and departments. And then the project begins. Everybody asks me when we're going to have Wi-Fi in the city. And my standard answer is that I hope to have construction begin by the end of this calendar year. Some people call me very optimistic because if anybody has watched the City and County of San Francisco go through its process, you know that it is very detailed and lots of discussion, as it should be. But we're hoping that we can move that as quickly as it is practical. What's the government role in something like this? Providing vision. Mayor Newsom did a fantastic job in 2004 when he called for free wireless access in the City and County of San Francisco. At that time, unheard of, shot around the world, heard around the world, and I think really started a conversation that whether you believe intrinsically in free or not, really has moved this discussion along, and has certainly, in San Francisco at least, helped bring down prices in DSL. Understanding need, we talked about that some more during question and answer. Finding ways to meet that need. I said there are municipal model, municipal ownership, private ownership, partnership. We happen to be working with a partnership model in San Francisco, and certainly the technical model, a combination of wired and wireless, how you actually build out, in our case, 49 square miles to provide that universal and affordable service. Communication, it's always said you can't communicate enough, and as much as we try to communicate, we never do enough, and we will always be trying to do more. And certainly planning for obsolescence, because once a city, whether it's municipally owned or a partnership model, builds out a network, and as technology changes as rapidly as it does, you need to make sure that there is a plan so you don't have an obsolete system in a year, 2 years, 5 years. Some issues, privacy. Hearing a lot about privacy, encouraging competition. You can read these slides, performance process, all issues that we have both been lauded for and criticized for in the City and County of San Francisco. Devil's always in the details, and as Esme and I were talking on the way up here, these type of projects are interesting because each project is unique to the city or county or jurisdiction that it is written about, RFP'd about, and designed and deployed. And so what works in San Francisco may not work in any other city. It really requires understanding your city and county or your jurisdiction and really putting together something that works for that area. So I think with that, I will hang up and be open for questions.
Thank you, Chris. Questions? I know there are some in this room.